for purposes of scheduling for debate. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the chairperson, Honorable Nereo Combo, I wish to give a notice of motion pursuant to the provisions of orders number 45(1) of the standing orders. This House adopts the report of liaison committee on its consideration of half-yearly progress reports of committees for the period ended 31st December 2024. Thank you.
What is it, Honorable Were?
Mr. Speaker, I want to give notice of.
But I'm not seeing your notice in the order paper. I'm advised, I've seen it in the order paper. Proceed and give you a notice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of orders number 45/1 of the standing orders, I wish to give a notice of motion that a report of PICPAC on the examination of reports of the Auditor General on the financial statement of 1 Rabur Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. And Mr. Speaker, number 2, I wish to give a notice of motion on Miranga Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. And number 3, Mr. Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion on the that the House adopts a report of PICPAC on committee examination of the reports of Auditor General on the financial statement of Sondu Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021, 2022, and 2022, 2023. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Statement time.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion on the adoption of the report of PICPAC committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the financial year 2022-2023 by the Honorable Kennedy Ogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Chairman, Honorable Ken Ouko, I wish to move a motion on the report of the examination of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2023. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, PICPAC, and pursuant to the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders 188, I wish to present to this House the report on examination of the report of Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2023. Mr. Speaker, I would seek the leave of the House to use moving notes because the report has been posted on our Assembly WhatsApp page. Mr. Speaker, the County Assembly exercises oversight over county government entities and investments and their expenditure pursuant to the Article 185, Section 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 through the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, which in turn derives its mandate from the County Assembly standing orders. Mr. Speaker, Article 229, Subsection 8 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 requires the County Assembly within 3 months after receiving the audit report to debate, consider the report and take appropriate action. The committee held 2 sittings during which it received written and oral evidence from the accounting officer on the audit queries raised by the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the financial year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, I wish to register my appreciation to the fellow honorable members of the committee, the officers of the Speaker, and the clerk of the Assembly, the committee secretariat, and the office of the Auditor General for the facilitation and technical support that made the production of this report possible. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, I wish to table the report on the consideration of Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Kisumu County Hospital for the financial year 2022-2023 and urge this House to adopt it. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Tom Nyangwara, the medical superintendent, and the accounting officer appeared before the committee on 8th November 2024 to adduce evidence on the audited financial statement of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the financial year, for the year ended 30th June 2023. Mr. Speaker, the following officer accompanied by the medical superintendent to the committee meeting, Mr. Barack Odwar, hospital accountant. The following officer represented the Office of the Auditor General in the committee meeting, Mr. Kennedy Ongoi, Deputy Director of Office of Auditor General, Kisumu Hub. Mr. Speaker, basis for qualified opinion. The report of Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu Referral Hospital for the financial year 2022-2023 had a qualified opinion, implying that except for the issues flagged under the basis of qualified opinion, the financial statements presented a true and fair view of financial position of the facility. Mr. Speaker, summary of the observations that were considered by the committee. The committee summarized the following observations. 1, that the financial statements for the Kisumu Referral Hospital for the year under review had inconsistencies relating to the presentation of prior year balances at the time of audit. This is contrary to the Section 164, Subsection 1 of the PFM Act 2012, which states that at the end of each financial year, the accounting officer for the county government entity shall prepare a financial statement in the format to be prescribed by the Accounting Standard Board. During the committee deliberation, the management presented an amended financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2024, correcting the errors. Number 2, Speaker, that the management failed to provide at the time of audit schedules to support the rendering of services. Medical services income totaling to 38,762,801, contrary to Section 62, Subsection C of the Public Audit Act 2015, which provides that a person shall not, without justification, fail to provide within reasonable time information that is required. Number 3, that amount of 705,799 relating to the casual wages of the month of April 2023 was recorded twice in the financial statement, leading to an overstatement of salary and wages. However, the management provided an amended financial statement for the subsequent financial year to correct the error. Number 4, Honorable Speaker, that the management did not provide receipts for the National Hospital Insurance Fund reimbursements of 21,937,400 at the time of audit, contrary to this to Section 62, subsection C of the Public Audit Act 2015, which provides that a person shall not, without justification, fail to provide within reasonable time information that is required. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the management provided bank statements from Cooperative Bank account number 01141495253 200 Kondele branch. An analysis revealed that the total amount received from National Hospital Insurance Fund as refunds was Kenya shillings 21,937,400. Number 5, that the financial statement of Kisumu Referral Hospital for the year under review at an amount of 9,145,776 relating to receivables from NHIF. However, the figure differed with National Hospital Insurance Fund records of 20,307,223. Number 6, Mr. Speaker, the Kenya shillings 9,145,776 receivable from NHIF had been outstanding for more than 1 year, despite the contract providing for the 30 days of payment of valid claims. Mr. Speaker, number 7, that the management provided a valuation report of land and building of Kisumu County Referral Hospital, Kisumu Central, Kisumu County, reference CGK stroke LHPP and UD stroke VAL stroke 2024 stroke 04, dated 22nd April 2024. However, line title deed was not provided to confirm ownership. Number 8, Mr. Speaker, that trade payable balance included Kenya shillings 2,301,025 owed to Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, while KEMSA records reflected 2,122,125, resulting to a variance of 178,900. Number 9, Mr. Speaker, that contrary to Section 138, Subsection 8 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires that receipts of grants or donations from development partners to record the value of such grants or donations in their books of account, and Regulation 71, Subsection 5 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015, which mandates the disclosure of gifts, donation, or sponsorship in the annual and quarterly financial statements. Management therefore failed to disclose donated drugs during the financial year under review. Mr. Speaker, number 10, that there was underfunding and underutilization of the budget for Kisumu Referral Hospital. Number 11, that the hospital did not meet the requirement of Kenya Quality Model for health checklist for level 4 hospitals. Number 12, that the medical services income amount of Kenya shilling 70,179,935 was not transferred to the County Revenue Fund account for approval by the Controller of Budget before withdrawal, contrary to Regulations 81, Subsection 1 to 3 of the Public Finance Act, County Governments Regulation 2015, which states that a receiver of revenue shall promptly deposit into the county exchequer account all receipts due to the County Revenue Fund. Number 13, Mr. Speaker, that the hospital did not provide evidence to show that the quarterly reports were prepared and submitted by the County Treasury with a copy of Auditor General as per the requirement of Regulation 64, Subsection 1 of the Public Finance Management, County Governments Regulation 2015, which requires the counting officer or the receiver of the revenue or collector of revenue to prepare a quarterly report not later than 15th day after the end of the quarter. Number 14, Mr. Speaker, that the management failed to comply with the County Public Human Resource Manual, May 2013, Section 8, Subsection 16, which states that casual workers be engaged only on urgent short-term tasks with the approval of County Public Service Board. and that they shall not be engaged for more than 3 months as stipulated by the Employment Act 2007. Number 15, Speaker, management did not provide for the auditors the payroll relating to staff 257 whose salaries were paid by the county government of Kisumu Human Resource Department. Further, they did not also give reasons, if any, on why the document could not be availed. Number 16, the trade payables included an amount of 66 million Kenya shillings 769,654, which had been outstanding for more than 3 years, contrary to the section 53, subsection 8 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2015, which states that accounting officer shall not commence any procurement proceedings until satisfied with the sufficient funds to meet the obligation of the resulting contracts are reflected in approved budget estimates. Number 17, Mr. Speaker, that there was misclassification of expenditure of 883,141 relating to employee cost, which was wrongly charged to general expenses, contrary to provision of section 47, subsection 1 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015, and section 53, subsection 1 of the same act that prohibits that accounting officer from the authorizing payments to be made out of funds earmarked for specific activities for the purposes other than those activities. Number 18, Mr. Speaker, that during the year under review, the internal audit unit did not carry out audit on operation of hospital, contrary to Regulation 153, subsection 1A of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation 2015, which states that internal auditors shall review and evaluate budgetary performance, financial management, transparency and accountability mechanisms and processes in county government entities, including county assembly. Number 19, Mr. Speaker, that the management equipment services, MEEs, equipment outsourced by the Ministry of Health was not part of property, plant and equipment, balance property as disclosed in note 21 to the financial statement. The management did not demonstrate efforts to service the machine upon the expiry of the contract. Mr. Speaker, a summary of the recommendation. The committee summarized the following recommendations. 1, that going forward, the management must adhere to section 164, subsection 1 of the PFM Act 2012. Number 2, that henceforth, the management must adhere to section 62, subsection C of the Public Audit Act 2015 on the provision of information to the auditors. Number 3, that the accounting officer immediately fast track the recovery of long outstanding NHIF claims. Number 4, that accounting officer reconcile the records with KEMSA and report back to the auditors within a period of 90 days upon adoption of this report. Number 5, that going forward, the management must adhere to section 138, subsection 8 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 71, subsection 5 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015 on disclosure of donation. Mr. Speaker, that the management undertakes appropriate measures to ensure the collection of own source revenue to boost service delivery to the public. Number 7, that going forward, the management must adhere to county public service human resource manual, May 2015, section 8, section 16.1, and the Employment Act 2007. Number 8, that going forward, the management must adhere to section 53, subsection 8 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2015, which states that an accounting officer shall not commence any procurement proceeding until satisfied that sufficient funds to meet the obligation of the resulting contract are reflected in the approved budget estimates. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I hereby request that this Honorable House adopts this report of Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of the Auditor General's report on financial statement of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the financial year 2022-2023. And may I call Honorable Nancy Matara to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, now that the motion adoption of the report of the PICPAC committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Referral Hospital the year 2022-2023 have been moved. Seconded, I want to propose a question. And I propose that the motion adoption of the report of PICPAC committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the year 2022-2023 is open for debate. Yes, Honorable Warindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity to support the report by the PICPAC committee on the examination of KCRH. Mr. Speaker, this is one of the facilities around that has given us a qualified opinion. Most of the entities that we've been dealing with have been giving us advice or disclaimer opinions, and how I wish that the accounting officers or the accountant that is managing the financial affairs of the KCRH can also be seconded to other facilities so that he can guide other accountants on what to do. Basically, the purposes of auditing is to give the true picture of an entity, how the entity is being run financially, and on the properties that are owned by the facility. Mr. Speaker, one of the gaps that have been captured in the report, and I want to believe that it cuts across all the facilities that we've been reviewing the audit report, is unsupported property, plant, and equipment balances. Most of them, when they are presented here during the interrogation processes, they tend to blame the Department of Lands, that they are the ones responsible for the evaluation of the properties that they are having. And I wish that this issue can be sorted once and for all our facilities, so that we can be having facilities that are giving us unqualified audit opinions. Again, if you look at the second gap that was captured in the report, is inaccuracies in the financial statement, where there is a total employee cost from the financial statement of the facility. There was an amount which was recorded of 11,143,116, which, if you go through the supporting schedules or the recomputed total that they gave, we had 2,841,275 Kenyan shillings, giving an unexplained variance of 8,301,846. Mr. Speaker, if an entity or a facility cannot explain how 8,301,841 was spent, then we really need to ask a question why that gap is there. The third gap, which was captured by the report, was overstated employee cost. From their financial statement, it was 11,424,021. And going through their supporting schedules, you find that there was a double reporting of casual wages of 705,799. And still, that also gives us a lot of questions to ask why they had to double report or to record it twice in a financial statement. Again, there is another recurring, and I want to report that even the last report that we dealt with, it was also a gap which was noted, that was non-disclosure of donated drugs. From their financial statement, there was nil amount on grants from donors and development partners. But when you go to the records of KEMSA and UHC, KEMSA had a record of 57,395,762, while UHC had a total of 1,321,791. The drugs were given with their values and cost, and the facility failed to indicate, to disclose the amount of the drugs. And I want to believe that this might affect the confidence of the development partners. Again, there was this variance in trade and other payables. There are so many gaps which were identified, and I believe if they strictly adhere to Public Finance Management Act, then some of these gaps can be corrected, and we will be having facilities giving us unqualified audit opinion. I therefore, Mr. Speaker, support the report given by the PICPAC committee. Thank you.
Honorable Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me leave Honorable Aikopete to contribute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I delayed in standing up to make my little contribution, and I'm grateful for the whip for allowing me to make my little contribution on this report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this report is on Kisumu County Referral Hospital. And Mr. Speaker, I want to express my happiness before I make contribution on this, that when I was watching news yesterday night, and this morning, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital got the approval of the Cabinet of Kenya to level 6 status. This is an effort that Kisumu County government has struggled with over the years. And we hope this will be a good achievement for our county government. And with this kind of achievement, Mr. Speaker, have been echoing which institution now replaces Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital. It is Kisumu County Referral Hospital that is set to replace it. And so when we are discussing the report of Kisumu County Referral Hospital, we need to be very keen on the kind of report we have been given and what will be our other recommendation. And when we digress a little this report, what picture do we give our people on what the country has been doing so that when Jaramogi goes up, the Kisumu County District Referral Hospital will replace it comfortably. And I hope that this will be done and we shall not suffer, our people shall not suffer because we know the cost of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga will go up and a good replacement will be there. Just as I said yesterday, Mr. Speaker, when we are talking about the French Development Agency of 2012-2022, that the work that was done at Lumumba Sub-County Hospital is wonderful. If I may borrow the language of Honorable Justice Kwach, is classic. What has been done at Lumumba Sub-County Hospital. Now, when I contribute on this report, Mr. Speaker, the report from the Auditor General is not a very bad one. Though there are matters raised which needs to be looked into so that our finances are properly used in this our institution. Mr. Speaker, on page 15, variances in receivables from exchange transactions. It is referring to National Hospital Insurance Fund. The record at the district hospital and the record at the National Hospital Insurance Fund office, they don't tally. So one will now wonder why these records don't tally. And this gives us this picture. Now there's a big war between the national government and the private hospitals in Kenya, where there's a fight for over 30 billion. The private hospitals want to be paid by the national government. And when the records prepared and given to the Auditor General shows variances, that figures don't tally. When we hear this also at the national government, that they need to be audited fresh so that proper records are got, what picture is there? There's poor record management at the health hospital level. That is why we find a difference of there's the 20 million versus the 9 million. Why should that be there? Poor record management. And when there is poor record management, Mr. Speaker, it gives a very poor picture that the staff employed there may not be adequately qualified or figures are being played with. We ask our health facilities to keep proper records so that we don't get this kind of picture. When you look at page 16, on the committee observation, the 20 million, the 9 million, and they are saying the matter is not resolved. That means the office of Kisumu County Referral Hospital has not kept their records properly. And they were unable to reconcile. And that is a problem, the problem at the national level. On page 18, there's the non-disclosure of donated drugs. And the donated drugs, the amount we get here is not small. And they are supposed to receive this as money received in their financial records. Because when these drugs are donated to them, they are now not going to buy the drugs. They are not going to receive the physical money. They have received the money in the form of drugs. And this needs to be tabulated in their record as finances received by the institution. They failed to do that. Failure to do this gives that picture that that money was not received. Then we now go to the records of the drugs. Were they properly kept? See. So, with this kind of records kept, stories can be cooked. Stories can be cooked. And let us not give room for stories to be cooked. When we look at this, our hospital, non-implementation of the universal health coverage, that is page 20. The equipment that they should have and what they don't have on page 21. And at the level of this hospital, the county government should ensure that the equipment are properly supplied to this hospital so that it merits its position to provide good services to our people. Like when you look at renal unit with at least 5 dialysis machines, none is there at Kisumu District Hospital. High dependency unit, they should have 6, none is there. Functional ICU bed, they should have 6, none is there. And this is a hospital that we want to be promoted to level 5. That gives us the picture that the county government of Kisumu needs to do a lot to improve the services of this our hospital. Then we are on financial management. They were not poorly off, but there are key issues that they did not do. When they collect the money, they are supposed to transfer that money to county revenue fund for monitoring purpose. They did not do that. They need to do that. They are also supposed to prepare their financial quarterly revenue report. That was also not done. And when we get the financial quarterly report, these are the reports that prepare us so that when the audit report comes, we were already in the picture of the reports that we had discussed. And we now will be in a position to understand much easily what the audit report portrays to us. Mr. Speaker, the matter of pending bills is an issue in every health facility in this country. On this one, when you look at page 6, outstanding trade and other payables. Kisumu County District Hospital is not paying its pending bills. This needs to be looked into, because if the treasury is giving them money, they are also collecting their money. Why do they still fail to pay their pending bills? When we look at their budget, what happens? Why the pending bills are not paid? And this will lead to poor services in the hospital because the contractors, the suppliers will fail to serve the hospital. And as an upcoming health institution, we expect the executive to establish good internal audit control so that finances are properly managed. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we hope with this kind of reports coming up, our health facilities will improve on their health services and financial management. I so contribute.
Honorable Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Going by the mood of the House, may I call them what to reply?
So, Honorable Were.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to acknowledge the deliberation on the qualified opinion report of the PICPAC and express my appreciation for the commitment of this House to transparency and accountability in public financial management. Mr. Speaker, the concerns raised in this audit report are duly noted, and I assure this Assembly that with the recommendations that have been put forward, I believe this Assembly will push the Executive in to addressing the identified issues. And Mr. Speaker, several gaps were able to be pinpointed by the committee, and I believe with the recommendations that have been put by the committee, like one, financial management gaps, I think with those recommendations, measures have been instituted to strengthen internal control and enhance that there shall be compliance with financial regulations to ensure accountability. And Mr. Speaker, two, the committee was able to identify that there were no proper record keeping and documentation. And I believe with the recommendation that have been put forward and strengthened by Honorable House, will ensure that efforts are underway to improve documentation and ensure that all financial transactions are properly recorded and made verifiable. Mr. Speaker, it was also flagged that procurement and expenditure oversight be taken seriously, and I believe a review of procurement processes is ongoing to align the best practices and legal requirements preventing irregularities and expenditure in future. And Mr. Speaker, also the recommendation we are able to put as a House corrective action plan to make sure that a detailed action plan is developed with timelines for rectifying deficiencies and ensuring compliance with audit recommendation. Mr. Speaker, as a House, we are committed to working collaboratively with all stakeholders and honorable members to ensure that effective financial stewardship and restoration of public confidence in PICPAC operations. We welcome further guidance and oversight to strengthen our accountability mechanisms. And Mr. Speaker, with a few remarks, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Honorable members, now that the motion adoption of the report of PICPAC committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Kisumu County Referral Hostel for the year 2022-2023 have been moved, seconded, and debated. It's time that now I want to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that the motion adoption of the report of the PICPAC committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Referral Hostel for the year 2022-2023 be adopted, say aye. As many of the contrary opinions say nay, the ayes have it. And the motion adoption of the report of PICPAC committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statement for Kisumu County Referral Hostel for the year 2022-2023 have been adopted today, Wednesday, the 12th of March 2025 at 9:54 a.m. I direct that the recommendations of the said report be communicated to the relevant departments for action, and the committee of implementation to follow up on the same as per our standing orders. Next order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. There's no any other business to be transacted in the order paper.
We can be upstanding. There being no any other business in the order paper, the House stands adjourned until today, the 12th of March 2025 at 2:30 p.m.